I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground.
Hey guys, this has been a long-awaited video, obviously, because it's taken way longer than I thought to get everything together for this. But finally, I am filming it for you, and hopefully you guys aren't disappointed with the outcome of it, because I know, like, I wasn't really expecting it to take this long, and I also wasn't expecting the results I got. So anyways, let's just jump into it. Basically, I decided to DNA test both of my auction rescue ponies, Simon and Roulette, along with my rescue puppy, Phoebe. I got Simon and Roulette's results back quite a while ago, but I wanted to wait to put Phoebe's in the same video. I ended up using one DNA test for Phoebe first, got the results back from that, and they were a load of crap. So I got a refund for that test and had a different company conduct the DNA test. So it took a lot longer than what I initially had planned, but now I have everything in, and I'm going to share the results with you guys and tell you whether or not I feel personally that they're accurate. So first things first, with Phoebe, I'm going to tell you guys the results of her first DNA test so that you guys know and can hopefully sympathize why I didn't think these were accurate results, because frankly they were quite a ways off, especially since the 3 breed types, she doesn't look like any of the 3 that they gave me. She got Cocker Spaniel, Shih Tzu, and West Highland Terrier for her first DNA test. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen my dog. I'll put a photo of her up, but like, she looks like absolutely none of these, and she's a medium-sized dog, and all these are small dog breeds. So I sent this company a photo of her after receiving the results and was basically like, look, like, I know my dog isn't like any of these breeds, or if she has one of them in her, it can't be all of them as her breed type, because she's a medium-sized dog and she's clearly part healer. And then anyways, they gave me a refund, thank God, because like DNA tests aren't cheap. I got a refund and I paid to do another test through Embark, and that one took a while to get back, obviously, because I had to mail it there and then wait for them to process it and yada yada yada. And anyways, finally it's back, so now finally I'm filming this video for you. I'll share with you her results from Embark, and this is like the most accurate dog DNA test on the market, and they also test for a variety of genetic diseases and whatnot. So it was a really good test to do. It's just more pricey than some of what the other ones are. However, I think it was worthwhile, and I wish I just did this one first, because it would have saved me a lot of time, but I decided to be cheap and it bit me in the ass. Phoebe is quite the mutt, which we kind of already knew. For those of you guys who didn't watch my video when I first got her, I adopted her from a rescue that works out of Saskatchewan, which is a province in Canada, and it's legal there to shoot stray dogs on site because they're considered a nuisance, and they have a big stray problem there. So basically any of the stray dogs that are there are just free game to shoot them. So the rescue center that I adopted from is called Flirting with Fido, and they save dogs from Saskatchewan and they adopt them out in the area surrounding their rescue in Saskatchewan, and they also bring them over to BC, which is where I live. So Phoebe traveled from Saskatchewan to here after I adopted her. And anyways, since there's such a large stray dog problem, I was expecting her to have a very huge variety of breeds in her breed type, but I did expect healer to be #1 because that's what she looks like most. My personal guesses for her breed were healer and pit bull, and then something that's a little smaller, because she is quite slight and she's pretty short, so I didn't think that she could have a whole lot of large dog breeds in her and just have those. But anyways, those are my guesses. So her results came back and she was only positive for one genetic health thing. She's a carrier for, I'm gonna butcher the name on this. Her one health problem that she's a carrier for is pre-kallikrein deficiency. I probably butchered that, I'm sorry. Which is apparently a benign blood disorder characterized by low levels of pre-kallikrein. Affected dogs typically suffer no ill effects, and that's the only thing she's a carrier for, so that's great. Anyways, let's get into the breeds. Unlike the other test, Embark does stuff by percentages, so it would say the breed percentages, and it also did like a bunch of other stuff, like it predicts her adult weight, which is 42 pounds, and she's about 38 or 39 right now, so that's very accurate because she's going to be done growing soon. And it also predicts their genetic age, which is 16 human years, and once again, if she was a year old, she'd be around 17 human years, and she's 9 months old right now, so very accurate for that. So I'm more inclined to believe this test just because of that. But anyways, we'll get into what the actual test said. So the number one breed for her that came up was Australian Cattle Dog, which is a healer, and obviously that's kind of what we all probably knew and would have guessed, because that's what she looks the most like when you're trying to figure out what the heck she is. But then the closer you look at her, the more you realize that there's just a bunch of things that are off, and you're like, what the hell is she? Anyways, the next breed type was an American Pit Bull Terrier, so top two guesses, heck yes. So she's 18.2% Australian Cattle Dog, which is lower than what I thought it would be. I thought that she'd have like 40%, but 15% American Pit Bull Terrier. And guys, here's the irony, because I was making jokes about this with the last breed test. She got 11.9% Shih Tzu, which she doesn't look anything like, but like, I guess there's smaller breeds in there and that's why she's smaller. 10.2% Boston Terrier, 9.9% Rottweiler, 9.3% Labrador Retriever, 8.9% German Shepherd Dog, and then she got 16.6% Super Mutt. And I'll read you the breeds that they thought were most likely for that. But basically my dog is just like an absolute train wreck crab mix of all sorts of breeds because of how many stray dogs there are in the area. So anyways, her Super Mutt breeds that came up were Border Collie, Great Pyrenees, Siberian Husky, and Boxer. So yeah, that was her breed test for the Australian Cattle Dog / healer. I knew that that had to come up as one of the top breeds for her just because she very much has a herding dog type mentality and she looks the most like a healer. But there's just all sorts of different parts of her that just aren't really healer looking, and so she's clearly like a big mix of stuff. I thought Pit Bull because of her head and her eyes. They look a little bit pitty to me, but again, it's kind of a reach because just nothing on her looks quite right, and none of it fits specifically with just a couple of breeds. Like, so she's just a mutt, basically. That's what she is. That was the ordeal that I went through to get my dog DNA tested. Thankfully, the horses were easier. However, the one thing I do want to say is that equine DNA tests are not at the point of accuracy as some of the dog DNA test companies. They don't have as many breed types on file to test for, and if the horses are like a mutt, like Phoebe is, with a ton of different breeds, it's completely inaccurate once it hits a certain point. The breed test that I use for horses is through Texas A&M University, and it's the most accurate when they're just like 1 or 2 breeds and not mixed with a bunch of different things. I did this DNA test with Milo several years ago, and he came back all within the same breed category of warm blood with 3 different types of warm blood breeds. So his was something that I'm more likely to take seriously because he hit a bunch of the same breed types, and for him, he doesn't look like he's crossed with like a billion different breeds. But with Simon and Roulette, especially with Simon, I am skeptical on his results. Roulette's, they did nail one that she definitely is. Like, she looks part quarter horse. She's definitely part quarter horse. I would say she's probably at least half quarter horse. But personally, I am not super on board with the other types that came up. Simon's, I'm super skeptical about. Like, I don't feel good enough about this test being accurate for him to actually say that he's any of these breeds. And the one thing I do want to say is that for their breed types, they don't have any cob types on there. So I feel like maybe that's what should have come up, and it didn't because they don't have breed types. Anyways, these tests are done where they pick like a first breed category, second breed category, and third breed category. So Simon's first one was the cream draft. I don't think he's a cream draft. I'm just gonna full disclosure. That's one of the rarest breeds in North America, and they're very uncommon. So I would be astounded if he was part cream draft. I don't think it's possible. And also it's like obviously a draft breed, so all of his breeds that he got came up like regular horse-sized breeds, so it would also be kind of impossible for him to be 13 hands. His second breed type was a Turcoman. Which is like a really old breed type, and now they're called like Akalteki. I don't know how to say it. So they're, again, not a breed that's really common here at all. They're like a Middle Eastern breed, so I would find it astounding if he actually had that in him. However, you never know. Now, his third breed type is the only one that I think would be remotely possible, because it is possible for him to have some of this in him. but again, he'd need to be crossed with something quite a bit smaller for this to be a possibility. The third breed type that he got was Percheron, and I think it is possible because for a pony, he does have a lot of bone, he's built pretty thick, and he has feathers. So realistically, that's like the only one that I think could even be remotely accurate. I don't think the other two are possible at all, and to be quite honest, I was very disappointed when I got his test back, just because of the fact that it doesn't seem to be legitimate. So for Simon, like, I'm not gonna call him any of these breeds. If I sold him, I would just say he's some unknown type of pony cross, or I would just pick a pony breed that I feel like he looks the most like and go that way. Or call him a sport pony. That's what he is. He's a sport pony. We don't really know what he is. I'm never going to find out. His owners on the auction intake papers left out all their information on purpose. They didn't want to be contacted. With Roulette, I did contact her owners that sent her to the auction, and they said that they're pretty positive that she's part quarter horse, which again, we already knew from how she looks, and they thought that the other part could be possibly a Morgan or something. So that's like my first-hand information on her, other than what I got from the DNA test. But the only breed from her DNA test I think is accurate is gonna be the quarter horse, but I'll get into the actual test with you guys. So for Roulette, her first breed type that she got is Selle Francais, which is a type of warm blood breed, and she's definitely not that. She'd be bigger and she'd be a lot leggier and built more athletically if she was that. Second breed type was Trakehner, which again, not true, because she should be built bigger and more athletically if that were the case. She's very compact and she's built small and squat, with short little legs for like Western disciplines and little tiny quarter horse feet. Her third breed type that she got was the quarter horse, which is the most accurate. Like, she's definitely part quarter horse. I can say that with absolute certainty that she's part quarter horse. I think that she's probably a quarter horse and Morgan mix with maybe some Arab, but usually when horses have Arab in them, they get more of a dishy face and have a bit of a jibba, even if they don't have a whole lot of Arab in them. And for her, her face is so flat that you could spin a top off of it, and her head has gotten quite blocky as she's grown up. So she looks like a quarter horse. I could probably sell her as a purebred quarter horse and have no one question it, but since we don't know, it's easiest to call her a quarter horse mix. So that's what she is. Sorry if this was disappointing for you guys. I didn't know that it was going to be such a hassle to get this done, and I didn't think that the results would be so skewed. But since they're both auction ponies that were likely backyard bred out on a range or something, they're probably just horse mutts, like my dog is a mutt. So anyways, that's kind of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. The dog DNA test that I used that I liked is called Embark, and then the horse DNA tests are through Texas A&M University, and they're very easy to do. You do them by pulling hair out of your horse's mane or tail, and then send it off like that. The dog one is done by a saliva swab, and like I said, I believe the dog DNA test places are more accurate from the standpoint of them having way more breeds in their database, and it being way more practiced. The only place I know of that actually does horse DNA testing of any sort, other than like color genetics and stuff, is Texas A&M. They're the only ones that offer a breed test, and it's clearly not super practiced yet unless your horse is like just one or two breeds, and even then you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and ask yourself, does my horse actually look like it's this breed at all? The other thing I just wanted to let you guys know in this video is that Roulette is sold. She's staying with me for 2 more weeks to get some training on her before she goes to her new home, but it's a really nice new home. She's going to be a trail horse and a games horse, which is exactly what I wanted for her. I wasn't marketing her as a jumper. She's not built for it. And I didn't want her to go to anyone who was looking to get into jumping in a super competitive manner, so I intentionally marketed her as a Western horse. And she found a good home, and she's gonna be doing that and really enjoying it, and she'll be heading to her new home on April 15th, but she's here until then, and yeah, I'm super pleased. She'll have a lot of fun there, and she's gonna be well taken care of, and it just seems like a good situation for her. Anyways, this is just me and my Shih Tzu just chilling. So yeah, that's kind of it for the DNA test. I'm sorry if this video was boring or wasn't what you were expecting, because the results weren't really what I was expecting for either the horses or the dog. And regarding Roulette's sale, I just want to make clear that I got both ponies with the intention of selling them at some point, and For Roulette, she's the most prepared to go to a long-term home because she's so freaking quiet and just lovely. Simon needs a lot more time before he's going to be kid safe, and I want to get him out to shows and stuff. Otherwise, he's very likely just going to go to another home where he's going to be resold fairly quickly to be a kid's horse, and I'll be damned if I'm not the one who gets him kid safe. Just for an egotistical standpoint, I want to be prepping that horse to be a show horse. I don't want to sell him and just have another trainer go and do exactly what I was going to do. He's sticking around for a while until he's safe for kids. And also just a reminder that like it is my job to train and sell horses, so I will be getting projects in here or there to train and resell. And also, peep my hat, I'm now sponsored by Equine Choice, which is a company that I've used since I was a wee little bean, and they sent me a sponsor package today with this fun sweater and this hat. So your dreams really do come true, kids. All you have to do is become a YouTuber and ride lots of crazy horses. Also, I'll give you guys a quick update on Donut. Donut is a mare that I bred last July, so she's coming due beginning of June this year. Her name is now Scarlet. I sold her to a friend of mine, but the foal that she's carrying is going to be mine. She's coming back here April 15th to foal and just hang out until she's due. So that'll be exciting and that'll be happening soon, but I haven't been updating you guys much on her because there's really nothing to update until we get really close to her foaling, other than like, oh, she's getting her 9-month vaccine in April, which is pretty boring to share on YouTube or to dedicate a video to. But as we get closer, I'll be doing more videos of her, and yeah, so there'll be a little bit more to share about that, but there's not going to be any really exciting updates until she's like ready to pop, basically. So anyways, I hope you guys liked this video, and yeah, thank you for watching. Turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss my next one. Check out my merch and yada yada yada, normal YouTube advertising things.